We're coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios. This is Prime News on SABC 3. Here are the top stories making headlines.
Kunene will be investigated. And while he's being investigated, I'm going to remove him from being a MMC.
Patriotic Alliance Deputy President Kunene has been suspended for a month from party political work and duties as MMC by his party. 263 members of parliament have voted in support of the Independent Police Investigative Directorate during the appropriation bill debate in the National Assembly. It has just gone 8 o'clock. A very good evening to you and a warm welcome to Prime News on 3. I am Paulette. Now, let's begin with this. Patriotic Alliance Deputy President Kunene has been suspended from party political work for a month. This pending an investigation into his presence at the house of murder-accused Katiso Molefe when he was arrested. Molefe is accused of orchestrating the murder of the late musician Oupa Sefaku, known as DJ Somebody, in 2022.
Alliance has said that it will institute an investigation to establish why Kunene was at Molefe's house at the time of his arrest. In a video clip on social media, Mackenzie announced that the party's number 2, Kunene, would stand down from his duties for a month.
Kunene will be investigated, and I'm going to tell you who's going to investigate him. Lawyers of good character. And while he's being investigated, I'm going to remove him from being a MMC.
Questioned about his presence during Molefe's arrest, Kunene said there was nothing untoward about his visit. He claims to have been accompanying a young journalist for a possible interview. He further stated that he has no relationship with Molefe and that his visit was innocent and not personal.
No regrets, really, because I didn't go there for anything wrong. And as I'm saying, the police were there, and the police asked pertinent questions to connect me to him.
The face of being a mastermind behind the murder of DJ Somebody, who was killed in a drive-by shooting in 2022.
Political parties in South Africa are struggling about issues of legitimacy. They are struggling because citizens and ordinary voters do not trust politicians. And what they try to do all the time is to build that reputation that ordinary citizens would easily associate with these parties and trust them.
SABC News, Johannesburg.
263 members of parliament voted in support of the Independent Police Investigative Directorate during the appropriation bill debate in the National Assembly. The support for IPID reflects its crucial role in overseeing police misconduct and promoting accountability within the police service. 94 MPs from Action SA, ATM and the EFF and Umkhonto weSizwe Party voted against the bill.
The outcome of the division is as follows: 263 are in support, 94 against, no abstentions. Vote number 24, IPID is agreed to.
The takeover offer for TV broadcaster MultiChoice by French firm Canal Plus is on track to be concluded by October this year. The Competition Tribunal conditionally approved the over 30 billion rand deal yesterday that could significantly transform the media landscape. The merger sets the stage for the combined group to take on the likes of global streaming giant Netflix and forms part of the French headquartered firm's expansion in Africa.
The Competition Commission has welcomed the approval of the proposed merger between Canal Plus and MultiChoice. Competition Commission Chief Economist James Hodge says the approval is in line with their recommendation in May and includes commitments around news plurality.
Whereby 3 news channels from South Africa will be contracted for a further 5-year period, including the SABC News. And then there are also commitments to try and export South African content And that hopefully will create a bigger South African creator economy, producer economy, with export of content throughout Africa and potentially beyond, given Canal Plus's footprint.
Hodges casts the move in a positive light, saying it creates a stronger, more competitive African media company at a time when international streaming giants are dominating viewership. But media law expert Justine Limpetlaw has questioned what this means for the health of the South African broadcasting sector.
Apart from the actual shell of the license holder, what does it mean that the biggest television broadcaster in South Africa is now effectively wholly owned by a French conglomerate? What is that really going to mean for independent producers? What is it really going to mean for language obligations?
The tribunal has approved the merger with conditions that include a 3-year moratorium on retrenchments, among other conditions. Nosipho Khadebe, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's continue with news further afield. The U.S. has moved forward legislation that could lead to sanctions against the key members of the South African government and ANC leadership. Washington wants a comprehensive review of the relationship with Pretoria. The legislation has passed the first review hurdle on its way to President Donald Trump's desk.
While potentially seismic changes for the US-South Africa relationship, this bill is recommending a comprehensive review of the bilateral relationship and accusing South Africa of brazenly abandoning the relationship with the US and aligning with terrorist organisations. It was suggested by Congressman Ronnie Jackson, who celebrated Tuesday's victory of it passing through the committee hearing by saying the days of allowing our so-called allies to walk all over us are over. The US government could potentially determine if senior government officials and ANC leaders in South Africa have been involved in corruption and human rights abuses. And if they determine so, they would then impose sanctions on certain individuals, and that would include travel bans and asset freezes. At heart, really, the US is unhappy that South Africa has taken Israel to the International Criminal Court over war crimes and accused it of genocide for its involvement in Gaza. The US is also angry that South Africa really is siding with the Palestinian people against the US ally Israel. They're also saying that South Africa has undermined US national security interests. They've given the example of carrying out joint military drills with Russia. Well, at Tuesday's hearing, Brian Mast, the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee, he said in support of the bill that this was not about severing ties with South Africa, but rather resetting expectations that the US has. Democrats, though, pushed back. Gregory Meeks said that President Trump had disproportionately targeted South Africa and was trying to embarrass President Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, it still has a way to go. Tuesday's hearing was called a committee markup. It was in the House Foreign Affairs Committee. They voted to move it forward, which means at some point the full House of Representatives will vote on this. It's unclear when it will happen. They're now on recess until September. If it's approved by the House, it'll move on to the Senate and land on the president's desk for approval. And remember, Republicans hold a slim majority in both the House and the Senate. The very fact, though, really, that this is even being considered could suggest a monumental shift in the way that the US deals with South Africa, a long-term ally. That relationship with this could change dramatically. Nick Harper, SABC News, Washington.
International Relations Minister Ronald Tamula has since responded.
Is that public communication that we have seen or heard through the public statements that have been made by the African groups that did visit the US, Freedom Front Plus, and the other one for some farmers. But we don't have an official communication to that effect. And once we do have it, we will respond appropriately. What we can say is that the South African government at international relations can only be represented by mandated state actors, the South African government, and those that may be mandated by the state outside who may be non-state actors. to play a particular role that will be of national interest, not a role that is of only a particular sector of the South African community. And it is well known that the South African government has a constitution which gives every South African a right, black, white, Indian, everyone have got a role to play, colors, irrespective of race or gender. So our country has got enough safeguards to deal with any issue that could be of concern to anyone.
All right, on to this now. The case against a 40-year-old suspect on the murder case of Ekurhuleni Chief Auditor Mpho Mafule has been postponed to the 15th of August. Mafule was gunned down on June 30th while driving on the R23 in Kempton Park. Gauteng NPA spokesperson Pindim Jonondwane says they requested the postponement for further investigations as well as a possible bail hearing.
Basically, today it was a first appearance. It was to place the charges before court and for the accused to indicate whether or not they'll be bringing a bail application. So they've already articulated in court that they want to apply for bail. So the matter has been postponed to the 15th of August for the state to conduct its investigations relating to the bail application that the accused wants to bring before court, as well as for the accused to prepare themselves for their bail application.
We hear that the accused is also facing another murder charge.
Indeed, we've raised it as the state that the accused person is facing a charge of murder in the very same court. So he has another pending case of murder. In that case, it's a murder that happened in September of 2023 where Mr. Mfihlo was allegedly shot and killed. And in that matter, Mr. Njali has been released on bail of 5,000 rands. It falls under the ambit of Schedule 5. So now that he is accused of committing another matter, the bail application itself will fall under the ambit of Schedule 6.
Still staying with matters in the courts, the High Court in Pretoria has ordered that Fizokuhle Ntuli, accused number 5 in the Senzo Mayu murder trial, be transferred to Leeuwkop prison. This after Ntuli claimed he was wrongfully moved from Kgosi Mampuru Correctional Services Center's B Max to C Max section over claims that a cell phone had been found inside his cell.
Prison authorities say the cell phone was found in Ntuli's cell on the 8th of July during a search operation, and he was moved from Kgosi Mampuru's B Max to C Max section the following day. But Ntuli denied this, claiming the cell phone may have been planted.
And then, my lord, again with the issue of the accused person, with the issue that they have said that they found the accused person with a cell phone at the B-Max, that is not true.
Judge Rata Mokgatleng then ordered that Ntuli be transferred from Kgosi Mampuru Correctional Center to Leeuwkop.
It is impossible for accused number 5 to be able to have peace of mind and be able to attend trial and defend himself and give instructions to his advocate or her advocate. I'm making the order that he must be housed at Leeuwkop, maximum B, you say.
Griselda Lewis, SABC News, at the High Court in Pretoria.
Welcome back. Onto this now. Alleged insurance killer cop Rachel Kudumela has continued to attempt to get her family and friends to take out insurance policies on other people while she's incarcerated. This is according to the investigating officer in her fraud and murder case, Captain Keshi Mabunda.
A bail application that has been ongoing since December last year. Thus far, the accused, Kutumela, and Anna and Flora Shokane have given oral evidence.
She gave a statement which she under oath. So she's my witness. But she went and made it to change that I've took that statement under duress. It was then after I spoke to the said attorney, Mr. Mahafa, then he withdrew. So she already interfered with the investigation.
Mabunda said that the Hawks have been investigating Kutumela since 2022, adding that he was only roped in July last year.
But they approached other people to take the insurance on their behalf. In fact, because we're talking about applicant number 1 for now, she pursued other people to take policies where she found those policies.
Lawyers representing the accused, however, denied that they knew the identity of state witnesses or ever interfered with them.
And it is further my instruction that now should the applicant number 2 be granted bail, she will never interfere with any investigations or state witness if they are known to her.
The legal representative of accused number 3, Flora Shokane, is expected to cross-examine Mabunda when the bail hearing continues on Thursday. Biman Baloyi, SABC News, Polokwane.
Let's check out what the weather has in store for us. Stay tuned.
Thank you very much and a very warm welcome to the weather desk. Now let's take a quick look at what to expect in our weather details for the rest of this evening and tomorrow. Clear conditions expected over the western parts of the country, but as you move further inland, isolated showers and thunder showers over the central interior, extending all the way into the Eastern Cape and parts of KwaZulu-Natal. Mpumalanga as well as Limpopo, Gauteng and the northwest provinces can also expect isolated showers for this evening. Light snowfalls can also be expected over the Lesotho Mountains overnight, as well as for tomorrow. And again, isolated showers as you move into the central interior, all the way into parts of the Northern Cape, the Eastern Cape and the southern parts of the Western Cape province. Otherwise, cloudy to partly cloudy conditions for the rest of the country can be expected. Overnight temperatures are expected to remain fairly cold for most parts of the country, with an average of 8 over Bloemfontein and De Aar overnight, 4 in Bethlehem, 6 here in Johannesburg, 8 overnight in Pretoria. In the eastern parts of the country, 13 in Durban, East London 11, Makhanda 8 overnight. Similar conditions for George and Riversdale. Cape Town 10 degrees Celsius overnight. Sutherland remaining very cold overnight with a minimum of 1 degree. Tomorrow, those maximum temperatures are expected to remain fairly cool for the central interior. 19 for De Aar and Bloemfontein. Bethlehem, a maximum of 16. Johannesburg, cool with a maximum of 18. Musina, slightly warmer with a maximum of 25. Similar conditions expected in Palabora for tomorrow. 23 in Durban, Richards Bay, 24. 22 in East London and Gqeberha. Down south, 19 as a maximum in George. Cape Town, 17. 16 in Sutherland and Uppington, slightly warmer with a maximum of 24 degrees. That's all from the weather desk.
That concludes our time together this evening. Much gratitude for joining us. Until next time, good night, God bless, Wetso Pula.